Hey guys, welcome back to Worlds Collide. We are about to hit all the big DC news, movie news of the week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's jump right into it. It's still a huge topic amongst everyone. Batman versus Superman. I mean, I cannot believe it's been 3 weeks and this movie is still being talked about by everybody. There's a lot to talk about in the movie itself. I think we'll first jump into the how it did last weekend at the box office, and we'll come back to kind of the ultimate cut and other stuff that we've been looking into. So last week, it was beat out by The Boss, the Melissa McCarthy movie. Missed the number one spot by like $45,000, and everyone collectively shit their pants again. Oh, DC's failing. DC's fucked it up, and it's just like, hold the phone. Star Wars got beat out by Ride Along 2. So, I mean, every movie eventually loses their number one spot. Tony, you're fuming. What do you want to say?
Like I said, there's just there's like this DC hate train people like to follow. And, you know, the media likes to report negative news because that's what people like to bring up is the negativity. Like, it's like negativity just gets more and more energy, so they just keep bringing it up. So they're looking for any little thing. Oh, The Boss beat Batman vs. Superman in its third week. Is it third week?
Yeah, third week.
Third week.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, why is that a big deal? Like, it's not opening weekend for this movie.
Right. It was The Boss's opening weekend, and everyone apparently still loves Melissa McCarthy movies. You know, I think the funny picture is that Batman vs. Superman still made like $25 million. How many movies in their third week wish they still made $25 million?
It's plenty.
Right? So
I think just like people are just looking for every reason to dissect this movie. It's like you can go back to Marvel movies and just be like, okay, I can dissect this, but you don't. You enjoy it for what it is, and it's there. It's a comic book movie. You love it. You enjoy it. It's like, why can't people just enjoy this movie for what it is instead of looking for these negative things like, oh, The Boss beat it. Oh, it didn't make $1 billion. Oh, it's not profitable. Quit your bitching. Oh my god, the movie's doing well. It's DC's second movie in their joined cinematic universe, and to me, in my opinion, it's doing really well. And I don't understand the negativity. Like, if you didn't like the movie, you didn't like the movie. I get it. But I know plenty of people who love the movie or thought the movie was just good. And it's like, to say this movie's a complete failure, it's like, I feel like that's just like people trying to emphasize that they want to even like, they want to hate more. It's like, there's no way you can completely hate this movie. Go watch Fantastic Four. Go watch Fantastic Four. There's no way.
Fan-for-tastic.
Yeah. They're by no means... Anyways, this movie's way above Fantastic Four, and they even had like a little post where it showed like Rotten Tomatoes, all the companies and all their comic book movies, and like Batman vs Superman sits like at the bottom, and I'm like, easily I can pick out at least 20 of these movies that Batman vs Superman was way better than, and yet it sits at a 29%.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I can agree that list is, it's janky. It's funny because everyone wants to say, oh, I wish WB made more. But it's like, well, yeah, of course, the studio wants to make as much money as it can. But as of yesterday, it crossed $800 million.
And that's a good achievement.
$800 million. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, Marvel made more. Like, well, sure, not every movie is received well like Marvel. I mean, like, it's just, but still, to call it a failure is just, doesn't make sense.
And I think it's funny because I have like plenty of like little, like, I like to talk on forums and talk to, other fanboys.
Find him on social media. He's out there. He's always talking.
I'm always commenting on social media. Like, I like to give my input. I like to give my support to pages, and I just think it's funny. It's like, this guy was just like, oh yeah, they didn't make $1 billion. They need to make $1 billion to be on Marvel movies. I'm like, wait, hold on. Marvel's first was Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, right? Those are the first three. Even the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk.
4, yeah.
Yeah, 4. None of those even got close to $1 billion. Not until Avengers, Iron Man 3, and Age of Ultron. So shut up, because all I'm saying is that their Phase 1 movies did not hit $1 billion, and only 3 of their movies have hit $1 billion. Oh, but this is 2 of DC's biggest icons. They still hit $800 million and counting. They still have the Blu-ray release. Like, you guys need to calm down. You fanboys need to calm down.
I have 2 points to make. One, I love your fanboy voice. Like, oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? That's a great voice. And my second point, I totally forgot. But people, the argument to like, well, Iron Man didn't make that much, and people would be like, well, that was their first movie. Like, well, and you'd be able to fire back and be like, well, this is their second movie. Look what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's mainly my argument. It's like, that world has been expanding for years now. And yeah, ultimately, as a whole, they've made over
Billions,
billions of dollars, over
billions
$4
of
billion
dollars.
dollars. And yeah, and I give that to them. But only three of their movies have hit a billion, and their Phase One movies not even close.
Yeah.
And that's why to me it's like, well, stop. Like what do you keep complaining about? And then the next argument is, oh well, they have to hit over 930 million to be profitable, or oh they have to hit over 800
This
million to be
movie's already
profitable.
profitable.
Yeah, it's already profitable.
profitable.
And think about the endorsements they got from Turkish Airlines, Dr. Pepper.
It's already
Jeep.
profitable.
Yeah, it's like, what are you guys talking about? You guys keep looking for things like it crosses that. Like, remember that algorithm that said this movie wouldn't even make any money?
Yeah.
Oh, now it's past 800 million. It's 200 million away from hitting that billion point, and people are still finding things to dissect from it.
It's made over 300 million domestically, which means worldwide people are loving it. Now, just because domestically, most people kind of, and I hate to say that most hate it, but I would say it's pretty split. You have, I mean, especially with you look at the scores. Most people seem to favor it more than hate it, but it's just kind of, they don't really know what to feel. But they're still figuring things out. I mean, it's one thing if you look back at, it's like Marvel's got it down now. They can churn these movies out because they know exactly what they're doing. When they were still first doing these movies, they were figuring it out. So to call this movie a failure is unfair. To say that it's not profitable is just wrong because it's at 800 million. I don't know what else it is. I mean, I did some research this week, and based on the figures so far, when I looked at the top comic book movies and their grossing income and all that, or how much they've made, yes, Marvel does sit on front of everything. But right now, Batman vs. Superman sits at number 8 of all time worldwide. And that's still counting. I mean, it's still growing. So to call it a failure, people are like, well, we didn't break top 5. You know what? That's okay. It's not a bad thing, but it still made, we'll say it still made top 10 in their second movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still so much.
And this is only,
come on, guys, come on.
This is only 3 weeks, and this is back to the point where everyone just keeps finding things to nitpick. It's like, well, it didn't hit $1 billion. Well, this, well, that. Well, it's like, Marvel needed time to establish their perfect universe. Marvel has taken that time out of like 4 movies. Even Avengers, like as good as Avengers was, it wasn't amazing to me, at least in my opinion. But
the first Avengers, was amazing.
Okay,
Age of Ultron, we can have a different talk.
Okay,
about.
Well, the Avengers was like it was good. It was the first of its kind. It was new, and I like that. But it's like when you go back to it, it's like they had failures in their first movies, but nobody's nitpicking those, and it's like. That's where I come back to. It's like people are looking things to nitpick. This is their second movie in the lineup.
Yeah. Come on. I mean, when you look back at the Marvel lineup, and I mean, they did, I want to say, was it 6 or 7 movies? 7 or 8 movies before they got to Avengers. And that's now over the span of 2008 to 2012. So they have 4 years to kind of work things out. People will be like, well, it took them 3 years between Man of Steel, which, we still talk about, I think is still one of the greatest iterations of Superman we've ever seen.
Yeah.
To Batman vs. Superman, it's like, Zack Snyder, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at what you did. I can't say enough. I don't want to say good things, but I can't defend this movie enough. People just need to calm down.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you think it is. Stop crapping on it.
And I'm not one of those overly angry fanboys, but it's like I have to like give my support for it. It's like where do you see the failures? Because half the time when I hear negative feedback from fanboys, it's like they're reading it from the reviews.
So they have those ideas put into their head.
It's like, okay, well, stop reading the reviews and form your own opinion. If you really didn't like it and this is really your reason because the complex storytelling wasn't really complex, it was all jumbled, too many characters, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God. Like,
I just have one question for you. Why can't you be this passionate about Marvel movies?
Because you know what? You know what? The Marvel fan base, they're already very supportive. They don't need another supportive person. And that's not to say that I don't judge Marvel movies that harshly. I'm just not excited as much. And it's like,
teach me.
and I'm not shooting down any Marvel movies. I'm just saying that, like,
I'm just joshing you, man. No, I support it. Just you probably support it more than I do in general. But I mean, DC. I mean, this is everything that you've been waiting for as long as it's been happening in the short amount of time it's been happening. So I keep doing your thing, Batman vs Superman. Keep making money. I'm gonna go see it again.
Yeah.
I know you are. I'd love to see it one more time in theaters. Like we said in our review way back, it deserves to be seen in theaters. I mean, it is something to see.
Yeah, it is.
It absolutely is.
And it's something that's deserved to see more than one time, especially you see it the second time around, you're more excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, just the hate needs to calm down because,
yeah.
first of all, Zack Snyder, he's a visionary. He's a really good director, in my opinion. And it's like, you guys are crapping on someone. It's like, imagine someone goes and craps on your work all day long, you know? It's going to get to you. And he's under the pressure, but he's handling it very well.
You know, it's funny when you talk about the visionary director and that you enjoy how things played out. It came out this week that the original cut for Batman vs. Superman was 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours. Why? I'm going to stop and be like, why didn't we see that movie?
I would watch a 4-hour movie, just saying, Zack Snyder. I would watch a 4-hour movie. I mean, in the movie theaters, obviously that's unrealistic, but as a director's cut, give me a 4-hour movie.
Don't even, this ultimate cut that's coming, no, I want everything he did. Show me your vision. I know that studios obviously have to have their say, and I think originally, now that we know it was 4 hours, they got it down to 3. Warner Brothers was probably like, it's still too much, and he had to cut out another half hour. Dear Lord, I want this 4-hour version.
I want
to see the movie the way he intended to show it.
I need it, and Zack Snyder as a director, like, I can imagine what he's did in that, you know.
God, that's another hour and a half. I mean, all of a sudden, it's like this epic tale is like it's like watching the Lord of the Rings extended edition. You get everything,
and it's like when they did Avatar, like they did like the extended edition and the super
gosh.
extended edition.
If this gets announced that they're gonna put out the 4-hour edit, I won't even buy the ultimate cut. I won't buy the theatrical cut. I want the definitive version of this movie and how it was intended to be seen from his point of view, because that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want it.
There's actually a rumor that, and I hope it's true, that he might be releasing the director's cut in theaters, the rated R version.
Yeah.
If that happens, I will definitely go watch it again. And I think if they release the director's cut, they'll definitely make that $200 million that they're missing.
Oh, geez. It wasn't Snyder that was looking to release it. Warner Brothers actually said that maybe before the actual Blu-ray release, we might release the director's cut, or the ultimate cut, I think is what they're calling it, in theaters. Please.
Yeah, I'll go watch it.
You'll have more of my money.
Yeah, and that'll be a 5th time for me watching it.
One of the parts of the ultimate cut coming to theaters was a scene that Zach talked about that he actually cut out for being too dark, which is, I know a lot of people are going to laugh at. They're like, Zack Snyder cut out something too dark? I don't know if you've heard about this scene yet, but it's right after Lex, spoilers if you haven't seen it, which I don't understand why you haven't seen it by now, but it's when Lex reveals that he has Clark's mom.
Yeah.
And Clark, a lot of people crap. It's funny. A lot of people crapped on it because they're like, "You're Superman. How could you not find her? How could you not hear her? You heard Lois.
You could hear her in the Middle East, but you can't hear her. Hear her in the city.
Your fanboy voice is on it, dude.
Oh my god! It's like, shut up. It's a movie."
So the scene that was cut was originally he does go searching for his mom, but the thing that he does is in the middle of his search, he's hearing all this other crime and people getting hurt around him, and he's not doing anything to stop it. Like, he's just solely searching for his mom. And I can understand why it would be figured as too dark. Like, Superman, why aren't you helping everybody? Because I feel like he has done a great job turning himself around because people got pissed off over Metropolis from Man of Steel. So I can understand why he would want to cut this scene. What do you feel about it and what was said about it?
I mean, that I definitely would have liked to see that scene. It doesn't bother me, you know, like, it's like him here, like, you can only imagine being Superman. You can't be everywhere at once.
And I think that's one of the great things about that is that he can't be everywhere. Well, people are going to be like, well, he saved Lois. But it's like, I really like that. The Richard Donner versions back in when those guys, I want to say 78, I don't know if that's true, but those versions of Superman is like, you didn't get that sense of, I don't know if it's realism is the right word to say, but, you know, he did everything right.
Yeah.
He did. And I think as time wore on, especially maybe after like the Schumacher Batmans and the comic booky style, like too cartoony kind of thing, like people were ready for that sense of realism. And then, I mean, obviously those were in the late 90s, but when it got to Man of Steel, like I wanted to see a world Where what if all of a sudden today someone shows up like that?
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to save everybody. He's not going to be able to do all those things that we think he might be able to do.
And I feel like this movie tackled that quite well. And it's like, like people were complaining about it. But it's like as much as Superman has all these powers, he's still a person. He's not perfect.
Right.
He may not be human, but it doesn't mean every being in this world is perfect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's another hour and a half of footage that we can see, please bring it on. We talked about this last week. That there was a script completed for a Batman solo film. Everybody kind of sat around wondering, why haven't we seen this script? The script was written by Ben Affleck. People are wondering why isn't this movie in development? Warner Brothers actually announced 2 dates for untitled DC properties. You and I both talked about that. You can check that out in our last week recap. And then at CinemaCon this week, the head of WB, I can't think of his name. I need to get better with names. I think it's Kevin Tusahara, announced and officially confirmed that Warner Brothers is working with Ben Affleck, confirming that a Batman solo film is coming. It's official.
I could have seen that coming. All the praise that Ben Affleck got for his role, as much as half the people were divided on it, everyone was in the same agreement that Ben Affleck is the definitive Batman. And Ben Affleck writing a script, I think he enjoys writing. Like, he already had an idea in his head if this continued. It was something in his back pocket, and he's actually said to be co-writing it with Jeff Johns.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, and so I seen this coming, and then Batman, and you got to think it's like that one of those entitled films. They're going to be shooting for that to be released as soon as possible.
I sure hope so.
Because it's Batman, that's their biggest property, and everyone loves Batman, so they're going to want to see this version of Batman, especially after the movie.
If it's that 2018 date, I'll be very excited for
and I'm definitely excited to see where... Like, I definitely feel like it's going to be the Jason Todd story.
I think so, too.
But I just hope, Batman Begins, how it had, Scarecrow as the minor villain, and then it went up to Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul, whatever.
However you want to call him.
Yeah, I really hope Black Mask is one of those, because...
That would be fun.
Because the reason why I picked Black Mask is because in this realistic, grounded approach, he's a gangster. Joker could be pulling the strings Joker's running Black Mask, and I would love to see that dynamic.
That would be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah.
There was also a rumor, and this is a huge rumor, but there was a rumor that dropped this week that Ben Affleck was in LA this week doing screen tests with a short list of actors for the role of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
rumor.
happening.
Big rumor. Rumor. So,
but it sounds like it's happening. I wouldn't be surprised.
I definitely think they were kind of hiding the whole Green Lantern thing. If he is not in the film, I won't be disappointed. But if he's in the film, I'll be very excited. And I feel like they're hiding that because it's like you can't have a Justice League without Green Lantern.
Right.
Even if he's like that Spider-Man where he comes in at the end of the film, I would be okay with that.
And it just get me excited. I want to see all these characters. So if it's true, that's awesome. But I definitely want to see it. But moving on to the big news, Justice League started filming on Monday. There were pictures on Instagram of Jason Momoa and Henry Cavill were training. Looking buff.
Yeah.
Wish we all felt the same way. It's just not working out for us. Anyways, there are tons of rumors floating around right now about what is the plot going to be. People are speculating like crazy. Some of the ones we've heard about, and based on what Chris Terrio is saying, that it could be the Atlanteans versus the Amazonians. It could be Superman as the villain. It could be Brainiac or Darkseid. What would you like to see for part 1?
Atlantean versus the Amazonians.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
I feel like if it's gonna be Superman, do it for a quick, they knock him out of it and they bring him back sort of thing, and then it moves on to the bigger point, which is the Amazonians versus Atlanteans, and that's definitely the Flashpoint Paradox type of thing.
Yeah, we've discussed about it. If you've seen the Flashpoint Paradox, you know that when Flash goes back to save his mom, it changes everything.
Yep.
To the point that the Atlanteans and the Amazonians are at war with each other, and see the Flashpoint Paradox. If you don't like reading, which this is all comic book related stuff, but if you watch the animated movie, it's my favorite one. It's my favorite one. It's so good.
And I feel like Brainiac should be saved for a Man of Steel sequel, and Darkseid should be for the bigger picture.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll no set photos yet, but hopefully in due time because it is filming.
In a month, we'll have set photos.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Moving on up, the big DC news this week, Suicide Squad Blitz trailer dropped. Check out our reaction video. He and I couldn't say enough about it. We flipped. Total fanboy reaction. It was
amazing.
It was amazing. The trailer kicked all sorts of ass. I mean, like, it was incredible. And even when I watch it now still, it's still just as incredible. David Ayer tweeted regarding the issue of reshoots, and we briefly discussed it in a reaction video. He said, reshoots for humor is silly. When a studio loves your movie and asks what else you want, go for it. Hashtag thanks WB, hashtag more action. You and I both said that this felt like a response to the more humor, but that stuff in the trailer wasn't reshoots. That stuff had already been filmed.
Yeah, and then I totally, like, I felt like even if they were doing the reshoots, they wouldn't have made it that fast and quickly edited it and put it in the film. Like,
right.
And I feel like, and it's even David Ayer was saying, like, when a director makes a movie, Ayer, I'm sorry.
Things that Tony says wrong. Add that to the list.
When David Ayer makes movies, as a director, he was saying that no director finishes a movie and is like, oh, that's perfect. They always want to put a little bit more. So obviously WB liked this movie and wanted more.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I feel like they're probably going to do that whole, like, and I felt like this wasn't going to be in the movie, but in Arkham Knight, or the Arkham Asylum, Batman takes them down at the end of the movie. I feel like they weren't going to have this in this movie. Now, potentially, because of Batman getting such positive feedback,
right.
I feel like they could potentially go that route where Batman comes to take them all down at the ending of the movie.
That'd be awesome.
If it's not that, then I'll be sad, but
we'll
I hope Batman in some way.
Do you think Batman's going to have interactions with each of the Suicide Squad? Like a quick flashback?
Well, from what I read, Harley, Joker does, Killer Croc, and Deadshot do. I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I don't know what I read.
I would love to see like a quick flashback of with their interaction with
each
Batman.
Each of them getting caught.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
One of the kind of the unknowns of the movie is Scott Eastwood. He's in the trailer. No one knows who he's playing.
Two rumors.
Oh, there's two. Okay. So there's no rumor as to who he's playing, except someone noticed in the new trailer this week a tattoo on his arm of a cannon. Tony, what do you think that's all about?
Well, they're saying Arsenal, which is Red Arrow, if you guys don't know that. Arsenal's a possibility.
Yeah.
The other rumor is Nightwing. At some point, Nightwing drops, he drops the whole superhero act and he goes undercover into the Black Ops. So if it's Nightwing, I'm gonna shit myself.
I think it's a great name. I mean, Scott Eastwood, if you haven't seen him, I mean, he hasn't been around for too long, but he's I mean, reminds me of his dad a lot, but I mean, Clint. But
yeah,
I've really liked him and everything I've seen with him so far. So even if it's Nightwing or Arsenal, that's flipping awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for either one. I mainly hope it's Nightwing, but if it ends up being Arsenal, I still shit myself.
Don't do that here, all right? Save that for your own time. Lastly, the biggest, or not the biggest, I'm sorry, but the last DC news of the week, the big animated film that everyone is waiting for, The Killing Joke, which was announced a while back, and then Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman in the animated series, Mark Hamill, who does the Joker, they all came back. The first teaser was released. And did you get a chance to check it out?
Yeah, I did.
It's real short, but it's dark. It's way dark.
Yeah.
And then last night, it was announced it's officially getting the R rating.
Hard
R rating. And if you've read The Killing Joke, you will understand why. I'm really excited because it makes me feel they're going to stay true to the source material and really, really make this dark. I can't say enough about this. I really think this is
pretty
awesome.
graphic. What he does to Barbara and.
If you haven't read it, go buy a digital copy. Go to your comic store. They'll have it. Go buy it and read it. It is really good, and it's really dark, and it's almost like a non-Batman story. It's more about the Gordons, so then you should read it. It is dark and it is good. So, all right, guys, that's it for the DC news for the week. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Stop shitting on Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, a bunch of haters out there. Why don't you guys have positive feedback?
Be happy we get these movies.
Yeah, be a little optimistic.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Even me, I'm a DC fanboy, but I still go watch Marvel movies and I don't shit on them completely.
Yeah, he says completely. It's like 90% of the time he is, but that's okay. All right, guys, that's going to do it for our recap of the week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We also wanted to give you a quick shout out to everyone that has subscribed to our channel, who has liked our stuff. Literally, it's overwhelming the amount of response that we've gotten so far, so thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. I know Tony is really excited that you guys enjoy it because we enjoy talking about it. So we're really glad that you like what we're doing. If you guys have anything that you guys want us to talk about, send us a tweet at Worlds Collide 16. Send us an email. Shoot us a message or comment on the video. We want your response. We want to make sure we're discussing the things that you guys like to hear about because we just love talking about it to begin with. So make sure just shoot us a comment.
Or even
a
comment on the
tweet.
Facebook page.
Yeah,
Worlds Collide.
yeah, right. We're everywhere. So, like Tony just said, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Worlds Collide Show, Twitter at Worlds Collide 16. You can send us an email at worldscollideshow@gmail. You can contact us anyway. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us so far. We're going to continue to push to make these great videos for you guys and have fun with them, and we want you guys to have fun with us as well. So thank you so much. And for Worlds Collide, I'm Matt.
I'm Tony.
And we will see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thanks.